What's up, everyone? I'm Cy Fenwick, the producer of the Morning Blitz with Galdi, welcoming you to our new web series. Al and I will pick the best portions of our show to share with everyone via video. Today, Tuesday, December 6th, Galdi addresses the rumors surrounding Bryce Harper and the Nationals. Harper is a free agent in 2 years and is said to be asking between $400 and $500 million for his next deal. A new report says that the Nationals are not planning on offering Bryce that much money. So where do the Nats go from there? Is Bryce Harper worth that much money? Galdi gives you his take.
All right, so let's get back to the Nationals here and more of what USA Today's Bob Nightingale had to report yesterday. And I give Nightingale credit. He's been all over the Nats here in recent weeks. And among his reporting yesterday was the following. The Nationals made it clear Monday they have no intention of meeting Bryce Harper's request for a record-setting contract to avert free agency in 2 years. Harper is seeking at least a 10-year contract that will likely pay him a minimum of $400 million. And on the surface, it's a little scary, right? You get a little scared when you hear something like that Bryce, bam, going to be gone in a few years. And that's been out there for a while, that Bryce is destined to bolt the Nats for the Yankees in the 2018 offseason. I have said repeatedly, and I still maintain this, that a lot can change between now and then, and to just presume that Bryce is gonzo in 2 years, you're getting way ahead of things. The state of the Nats could change. The Nats could be coming off back-to-back World Series championships at that point. The state of the Yankees could change. The Yankees could be a mess at that point in terms of the on-field product. You just don't know what the landscape of Major League Baseball will look like in a couple of years. So I am not one of these people that believes that Bryce is gone in a few years. We do know, though, that Bryce wants the big money contract. And when we say big money, we're not talking about 5 for $100. We're talking about something like what Giancarlo Stanton got from Miami. 10 years, $300+ million. And as Nightingale reported yesterday, you're looking at 10 years, $400+ million. Here is my stance on Bryce Harper, okay? And I've been a Bryce defender over the years. I think this stuff about his attitude has been way overblown. This stuff about him being too cocky has been way out of line. I thought the thing with him in the minors, blowing the kiss, wearing too much eye black was ridiculous. When Cole Hamels plunked Bryce in May of 2012, I thought that was a gutless move by Cole Hamels, totally uncalled for. I thought the Jonathan Papelbon dugout attack of Bryce in September of 2015, totally gutless, totally uncalled for. But Bryce has been in the majors now for 5 seasons. He has had exactly 2 big seasons. That's it. That's all you're talking about with Bryce Harper. His 2012, his rookie year, was very good, and his 2015 was out of this world. Bryce's other 3 years, 13, 14, and 16, have either been injury marred or have included him underperforming. Plain and simple. And I'm not giving, if I'm Mike Rizzo, if I'm Ted Lerner, if I'm the Nats, $400+ million to a guy who has given you 2 big seasons in 5 years. I'm not doing that. At some point it becomes more about potential. At some point it becomes more about him maybe being the next Mickey Mantle. At some point you have to perform. And Bryce hasn't done that nearly enough yet. Now, I happen to think he's poised for a monstrous 2017, but we got to see it. At some point it's about staying healthy, playing at 150 or more games year in and year out, and production. You pay for production. You can't keep paying for potential. And no way, if I'm Rizzo, if I'm billionaire Ted, am I right now giving $400+ million to a guy who, again, has given the Nats 2 big years in 5 seasons. Plain and simple. This past season was highly disappointing. And maybe Bryce was hurt. I happen to think that he was. I happen to buy into what Tom Verducci reported on multiple occasions. But you know what? The season's been over for a while now. And we have yet to get that confirmation that he was hurt. We have yet to get the word that, it turns out that Bryce was injured. He's undergoing this procedure today, and he's going to finally get that neck/right shoulder issue corrected. No, that has not come out just yet. And maybe quietly something's gone down, but maybe not. I mean, you have to at least be open to the possibility that Bryce wasn't hurt last year, that he just underperformed last year. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But maybe that is the case. And if that is the case, boy, is that frightening. That's why, to me, if I'm a Nats fan, I am praying that he was hurt last year, because otherwise the only other explanation for his regression last season was just that. He got worse. He struggled. Pitchers figured him out to an extent. He did not hit balls nearly as hard last season as he did the previous year. Do a little compare and contrast with 2 other phenoms who came up and had their rookie years in 2012, a la Bryce, all right? Mike Trout and Manny Machado. Mike Trout has had 5 big seasons in 5 years. If you go by Baseball Reference's version of wins above replacement, Mike Trout's lowest WAR over his 5 seasons is 7.9. 7.9, which is outstanding. That's MVP territory. And Trout has been at 9 or better in 4 of the 5 years. He has been historically excellent over his first 5 seasons, Trout has been. You use that same methodology for Bryce, wins above replacement. Bryce has had a sub-4 WAR in 3 of his 5 years. Below 4 in 3 of the 5 years. He's been below 2 in 2 of the last 3 years, 2014 and 2016. And you can say, well, he's been hurt. Well, yeah, he has, and that's part of this. You're not paying $400+ million to a guy who can't stay healthy. Bryce has played in more than 147 games once in 5 seasons. Mike Trout has played in 150 or more games in each of the last 4 seasons. Here's another guy to look at, Manny Machado, right? Just up I-95 in Baltimore. Manny Machado, over his 5 seasons, he has had a WAR of 6.7 or better. Again, MVP territory in 3 of the last 4 seasons. 3 of the last 4 seasons for Machado, you're talking about a wins above replacement of 6.7 or better. Right? He came up in August of 2012, so his WAR for that year isn't that high. But 3 of the last 4 years, 6.7 or better for Machado. Again, compare and contrast with Bryce. You step outside the Nats bubble. Bryce has been good, but he has not stayed healthy, and he has struggled now in 2 of the last 3 years. The overall body of work is good, but it's not great, and it's not nearly on that level of excellence that you have had from Machado, and you're nowhere close to Trout. The Harper-Trout conversation, it's not even a conversation, man. It is not even a discussion. It is Mike Trout miles ahead of Bryce Harper at this point. And if Bryce produces in 17 as he did in 15, then it's a different conversation. Then you can talk about $400 million. But right now, if I'm Mike Rizzo, if I'm billionaire Ted, no way am I giving Bryce Harper $400+ million off the body of work here over the last 5 years. 2 big seasons in 5 years. You got to do better than that. Hit me up on Twitter at Al Galdi. You can email me to al@espn980.com. Up next, we get back to the Redskins. Galdi grades for the Redskins' loss at Arizona. We're talking Redskins' passing game, including Jay Gruden yesterday, on what Kirk Cousins should have done better. Morning Blitz with Al Galdi.
Burger King presents Breakfast Stories. Today's story, Big Jim and 3 pancakes for 89 cents.
I don't care what you call them, pancakes, flipjacks, flapjacks. The point is, at Burger King, you can get a stack of 3 of them for 89 cents. What kind of deal is this?
A great one? Fill up on 3 golden pancakes for 89 cents.